Good evening. My name is Damon Knight, and I'm 67 years old, and I'm trying to continue on a health diary. The last video was incomplete, and I didn't tell the entire story, so I'd like to continue. Yes, well, where I dropped off was I was in ICU, which is an intensive care unit at St. Luke's Hospital in Houston, Texas. I sat there and people had died on both sides of me. And I wondered if it was somewhat of like a checkerboard, where you sort of wonder when your time is coming. It gave you a lot of time to contemplate how you got there. I remember I had a bad cough. I went to the doctor. I wanted to get some prescriptive medicine for my cough. I walked up 2 flights of stairs, and as I was signing in, the doctor came out and heard me huffing and puffing. And he says, "Why are you huffing and puffing?" I said, "Well, I just walked up the stairs." So when he brought me in, he says, "I'd like to do a EKG on you." And I remember from the old days, I was electrocardiographed to check my heart. I said, "Doc, I don't have anything wrong with my heart. I have a cough. My cough." Listen, the cough isn't important. Let's take the EKG for your heart. Well, they took it and they found one little spike on it. He says, "I need you to go immediately to the emergency room." I said, "I feel fine. I got that cough. Give me a prescription for some cough medicine, something that would work. I'm tired of it all the time. Just don't worry about your cough." Yeah, that's what I came in for. Go immediately to the emergency room. Well, I said, "Sure." And walked out and walked down the stairs and got outside, and it was nice and sunny. And I'm thinking, I don't feel bad. One little test for 1 minute, and all of a sudden I'm off to the emergency room, and I feel fine. I really feel fine. So what I did, instead of turning towards the emergency room, I turned in the opposite direction, and I went to a travel bureau. A week or 2 weeks before, I had won a trip to Laguna Beach. I went to a diving expo. I signed up for everything in the world, and they had called me and they said, "We want a trip to Laguna Beach." I said, "Oh, isn't that nice? I'm going to learn how to do underwater diving." He said, "That's exactly what the trip is for." And I said, "Oh, this is wonderful. Trip to Laguna Beach." I said, "I haven't been in Florida for a long time." And I got up on the internet and I started looking at Laguna Beach. And hey, there's also a Laguna Beach in California. California, here I come, la 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 la. Florida's just as well for me, la 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 la. Well, when I called them up, I said, "Am I going to Florida or am I going to California?" And they said, "No, neither one." I said, "I thought he said Laguna Beach." And he said, "Laguna Beach is also in Honduras." La 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 la. Well, so I went to the travel bureau to go see what kind of arrangements I could make. Maybe it was a good idea to get out of town. Maybe I could forget about this emergency room, get out of town. I listened to them and they kind of cheered me up. So I headed down towards a hospital, and then I got this overwhelming feeling that I wanted to exercise. So I had a membership in a gym, so I stopped in the gym. And I swam and I lifted weights and did my stretching exercises for about an hour. Came out of there, still feeling good, but it's raining out. So it's starting to get dark, and it's gloomy, and that's what time to go to the emergency room. So I went home. And I went to sleep. Next morning I got up, kind of thinking about this emergency room, and I had just purchased a shelf of drawers. And I put the shelves together, and then I loaded it up with books, and I went and packed my suitcase and put my tie on, and got all spickied up, loaded up with a bunch of books because I didn't know how long I was going to be there. Went to the emergency room, and when I walked in and I told them who I was, they said, "Where's the ambulance?" I said, "No, I drove myself over here." Did you bring a bag? I said, "Yeah, I went right down there." And the attendant, he tried to lift up the bag, and like, oh my God, that was my beginning. Maybe I should have went to Laguna Beach rather than going to the emergency room, but no. Let's go back to ICU, where I was. Now, first thing is I had never been into this hospital St. Luke's. I didn't know any nurses, didn't know any attendants, didn't know any doctors, didn't know what kind of reputation they had, didn't even know the janitor or janitors. These are good doctors. Which ones had the good reputations? You know, in every class, you've got somebody that's a good student, and you got the ones that copy off the person in front of them. You know, you can get the wrong doctors. So first thing I did was I wanted to start asking every single person I would meet, who's the good doctors here? Who does heart operations? I'm going under a knife without even knowing anything about what's happening and who's the good doctors. Well, as I talked to people, they kept recommending the same doctor over and over. It's not his son, it's the old man. He's good. So they asked me who I wanted for a doctor. Right away, I typed up with this doctor's name. You have to realize that when I went in, my timing was off once again. And it was right around the 4th of July. The operation had to be done. I'm in ICU. I just had a heart attack. And so I asked for this doctor, and that same day I received a call, or a nurse came in and said, "No, the doctor's not available." It so happens that he has his own private jet. He's going to Hawaii, and she says, "I don't believe he's going to come back for the operation." And put it in the way you would think too. If you had your own airplane, jet plane, and you had a chance to go to Hawaii and have a nice vacation and watch the fireworks from Hawaii's beach with hula girls, do you think you would be in a Mai Tai? Do you think you'd come over back for this operation on this old man? And she was absolutely right. I needed to go pick another doctor. Once again, I started asking everybody, and I found a doctor who also had a fairly good reputation. He had been around for a while, and I asked him to come in and talk to me. When he came in, he had a butch type of haircut, muscular, short man, good hands. So I asked him how was his feet. Now, he looked at me kind of strange. What do you mean my feet? I said, "Look, I know this operation takes about 3 hours. I want to know how your feet are. I want you can stand it. I can't stand for 3 hours. I'd like to know that you can stand." So he said, "I'm doing fine with my feet." I said, "Let me see your hands then." No shakes, with strong hands. I said, "Have you done this before? What's your success rate?" And he kind of checked himself out. This is where it gets kind of funny. And in order to do this, you're going to have to listen to another tape, because I'm running out again. I guess I either talk too long or these tapes go too fast. But the next part is kind of interesting, because God gets involved. And I can't explain it any other way. So, will I talk to you again? Bye-bye. Good night.